Now, here at the Prairie Outpost podcast here, Mr. Dillon really likes getting into the nitty gritty of how to run city life and stuff like that. And I guess there's been talk here in Winnipeg, or lots of public discussions on the upcoming budget. Is that?
Yep. On the upcoming city budget. And if I am reading the sources correctly, it looks like they're doing the budgeting process a bit of a new way. Historically, it's been a 1-year budget, so you plan a budget for 1 year. It looks like they're doing 4-year budgeting now.
Okay.
And from some insiders on Twitter, it sounds like there's sort of a brainstorming process about amongst the city departments about what to do. And historically, that's sort of been buried away.
Like closed doors type
yeah.
thing? Okay.
And now more of this is getting out
into the public. Now,
and some of the, I guess, off-the-wall ideas on how to save money, like cutting street lighting, is getting into the public discourse.
So, like, the whole public thing, is this a concerted effort by the city to try to get it in a more public eye? Or is this just people that are on Twitter just talking about what they're hearing at work or whatever?
I believe that the city's process is more public this time.
Okay.
So this was, so some of these crazy ideas were presented in an open door session of either city council or one of the committees.
Okay. So I guess these little money saving ideas probably has to do with that the city is looking to save cash. Like, are we cash strapped here in Winnipeg?
I would say that we are in a bit of a tight financial pickle. So there were two things. For one, for about a decade, or maybe 10 years, maybe not quite a decade, there was a city property tax freeze. So the city property tax rates were frozen, and as inflation and the value of property increases over time, that means effectively, in real terms, less buying power from the property tax rates that you are getting per person. And an unfortunate thing is, okay, the city froze property taxes, but maybe they can budge them up a bit. And that's, in and of itself, is going to be politically unpopular. But worse is that while the city froze their section of the property tax rates, a lot of local school boards in Winnipeg, which set their own property taxes, increased their rates to take up the room left over by the city.
I see.
And I'm not sure about you, but and I live in an apartment, so I don't get a property tax bill. The landlord gets the bill, and they just factor that into my rent. But for homeowners who do, and I live in an apartment and I rent in an apartment, to be clear, technically an apartment is a type of building, so a condo can be an apartment, but that's a bit of trivia for you.
It'll affect you regardless.
Yeah, you get. I guess I'm not sure for a lot of homeowners, But I think there are a lot who just look at the bottom figure of how much
much it is,
and they don't really differentiate between, like, oh, this is from the school board versus this is from the city.
Mm-hmm.
So
basically, tax bills sounds like it's going up. If we want to keep services, otherwise there's going to be cuts, right? You either pay with the cuts or pay with money coming off your property taxes. There's only one or two ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
or some cuts, some places,
a mixture of two.
Yeah, mix of the two.